Very good.
Yeah, like I said, so.
I want to thank everyone for coming out to tonight's town council meeting. Everyone, please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather tonight. We ask that you be with us, that your spirit will be in this place, that wisdom fall on our minds, that you bring us focus and clarity as we move forward. We give all honor and glory to you. Let your will be done in this town. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, meeting to order. We have here.
David
Here.
Danny Black. Eric Dipper,
Here.
Levi.
Here.
Here.
Michael.
Here.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Some changes to your agenda tonight, 2 items withdrawn in the old business, item number 1, item number 3. Miller Pipeline and resolution 2605. Those petitioners are withdrawn their request. I found that out. Thank you. One addition, completely my oversight. Last meeting, you approved the audiovisual contract with Watson Remodeling. Your legal counsel drafted a service contract, did circulate that, and I overlooked it and failed to put it on the agenda. I'll push that out to you. If you don't already have it, that will need to be on your old business agenda.
Thank you. Start with the minutes from the February 3rd meeting. Any additions, corrections? If not, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 3rd town council meeting. Seconds.
Have a motion and second as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes. There are 2 items on the consent agenda. The January finance report and the 2025 annual finance report. Any questions? Comments on that?
I'll make a motion. We approve the consent agenda as presented. Second.
Have a motion and second as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Pass. I do not see any special presentations this evening.
That's correct.
We'll move on to old business. Number 1's been withdrawn, so we'll go to number 2. Amendment to employee contract. I think we had some verbiage we needed to change on employee contract.
Yes, so there was some discussion recently about the employment agreement. Mr. Kirby, and it was being interpreted because it was expressed in an annual salary. It was being interpreted that Mr. Kirby only would be getting 26 pay periods of that salary rather than 20. This is the 27-year pay period. It happens every 7 years, and because we chose to express its employment agreement to approve the salary on an annual basis, it was being interpreted that he would not be eligible for the 27th paycheck, well, a full 27 paycheck like every other. So Mr. Nicely circulated and was an amendment or just an amendment to the contract that expressed his pay instead of on an annual basis, on a pay period basis, so that he would not be the only employee who's not receiving the 27 funds. Happy to try to explain that better. This 27 pay periods every 7 years. Is it you're a little unique in that your salary resolutions are expressed in on a pay period of a 2-week basis. Most are not, most are on an annual basis, which is what we're accustomed to. So that's what we treat Scott's contract like that. So hopefully this will remedy it so that Scott is the only employee accountants in for paycheck.
So, yeah, just a question on that.
Sure.
So from an annual basis, what we've agreed to pay the town employees, are you saying because of this year's pay cycle, they're actually gonna make more than what they would annually make every other year?
Yes.
I feel like that's something we probably should have thought about ahead of time.
Well, as I indicated here, you're unique here with this pay period declaration rather than an annual declaration, which is what everyone we work with. It's not getting broke. It just ended up in an inequality for Scott that several assets try to remedy it.
Like, I answer that. Everybody else is based on 5-week pay, salary ordinance. That contract is based on annual. So we divided the annual amount by the number of pays for the year, which everybody's getting 7 pays. But the amount is 26 pays, which will be 185,000.
So everyone else,
That's what every other employee.
so everyone else's bi-weekly was reduced compared to what?
No, everyone else's 5-weekly was used the 27 pay periods. So they got every employee will get one extra paycheck during this calendar year. Except for Scott.
Yeah. Scott was gonna get paid what he was meant to be paid for the annual agreement. Everyone else got a bonus check because of the way the dates fell this year. I feel like that's something we could talk about. How do we get that on the agenda to discuss? Not that it won't be relevant for another 6 years.
Well, 2 items there, not only matter before you to approve or disapprove, but for future discussion. One recommendation would I consider other employers, private and public, opt for a 24. This applies for 15th, 30th. That way you don't have to ever encounter this leap year kind of anomaly that impacts the 26 pays. Because otherwise, in the alternative, you take 27 pays, divide that by the annual sum, that the biweekly earnings drop for that employee. And even though they're still making the same amount, you spread it over 27 rather than 26. So it's worth I think a stakeholder discussion, clerk's office and how they process payroll, your department leaders. 2 items, one future discussion.
So we need to act on this or not act. Have any further discussion on? Everybody understand?
Is this something we need to figure out tonight
Yes,
Or Scott or the system.
for Scott?
yes.
Because we won't be encountering this for another almost year, 11 months, or 10 months. But it needs to be figured out now because
Pay it. So it could be, yeah, right.
and if we were to reverse it later for everybody, it's no problem to change it now and then just reverse it later.
That probably wouldn't change everybody right now. Can't exactly predict how that might impact both employees and any thoughts about the fairness of that. You may want to change it for the future and what Mr. Bertrand just said about 2 pay periods for 15th, 30th, address everyone on an annual basis. And on that seventh, you get the 7-year itch. You still get your agreed upon salary for the year. It's just in slightly smaller bi-weekly paychecks.
Yeah. Alright, this is the first time that I'd heard of this for this budget year. Another way of looking at this is everyone's going to get 127 more pay than what they anticipated than what we've agreed on for the budget.
But it's all this administratively without luck, so this was the solution that could make it equitable for
I think it'd still be worth talking more about later. Oh, not that I dislike Scott at all, but I'd hate to reward him unfairly because everyone else got bonus. I'd rather say this is fair and we agree to what we had planned and try to work on making everybody else's equitable as well. But yeah, if it was known ahead of time, I wish I knew it. I didn't catch that.
If I made a chance to stop. I understood what you just said to say that Scott was receiving a benefit if approved, that the other members of the workforce are not. Was that what you just said? My words, not yours, but.
He's going to be the only one that gets paid what we have budgeted, what we had talked about in here for annual agreement of pay. Sorry, not budgeted. That's not the right word. From an annual spend, he will be getting more or less than everybody else. Not because that's what we wanted him to make, but just because the date fell. Yeah, I don't know that I would say we should bump him up with everybody else just because we didn't think ahead and get our dates right for how we should pay our employees.
I think in the future, any contract I've ever dealt with, it's always an annual amount and it's divided by the number of pay periods. In this case, I think in the future, we need to consider that when you're doing financial situation, but personally, I think this contract should be approved. So I'd like to put a motion that we amend the employer contract. I'd like to move that we amend the employee contract.
Second.
A motion and a second as presented. Let's do a roll call vote. All those in favor? Well, just roll call vote, I'm sorry.
Who seconded the motion?
I did, Eric.
Ida Baggy,
Yes.
David Kincaid,
Yes.
Eric Newford,
Yes.
Levi Shaw,
No,
Ron Stone,
Yes.
Michael Foot,
Yeah.
motion carries.
If I could put a spin on it, I agree with the counselor said, this body's the only one I've worked with in 40 years that had
Yeah.
the pay period as their salary ordinance. It's not illegal. It just is, it comes up with this kind of thing, at least.
I do agree moving forward, we need to look at it this year and figure out how we can get it more uniformly established so that new hires coming in, we don't forget with the change of people.
Yeah.
But I think if we can not believe it, and I think if the clerk correct me if I'm wrong. Even under the current 26 pays, you always run up against the end of the year and start paying money in January of next year that was earned in the preceding. So under a 24 pay cycle, if you do a first and 15th, you avoid that forever.
Item number 4, service contract, Watson's remodel audio system.
You all reviewed an initial proposal by Watson's at the last meeting. Counselor Foote, I believe, requested a bit more information specifically about the equipment that was being used. So I prepared this contract with information provided by Watson's. I've been in contact with Watson's, been very, great to work with, and, provided a equipment list, and, we also drafted this agreement to install the audio visual capabilities we have.
We resolved the prepayment issue too. We had more than 50% of the prepayment issue.
So we did approve the bid.
We
We
should-
just need to approve the contract now.
There was a question about what exactly was being specified, and
Right.
Zach drilled down on that and have that list, so.
And there was the issue mentioned about 50% deposit.
So is there any further discussion on the service contract?
No, as mentioned in earlier conversation, their substantial portion of their savings is budgeted. Providing less expensive equipment. Whether that's a matter to the council to worry about is up to individual councilors.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. We accept the service contract with the equipment listed as presented.
Second.
A motion and second is presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passed. Any other old business that we're missing?
Remember where, so
Moving on to new business, Crushing Bank. Help police purchase the skid steer loader for public works.
yes, Mr. Higgins here.
He
He
is
is
not.
not.
Okay. He circulated this, last week. You'll see, I believe in the description. And Mr. Kirby can maybe fill in the blanks here, it's fun, as it relates to the present equipment they have. And its limitations, age. While he's approaching the lectern. This is Mr. Higgins' recommendation. It's part of the lease purchase program under the help program. And you can see the cost attached there. So I think Mr. Kirby can give you some context as to what their equipment is for.
Good evening. This is Mr. Higgins's decision on how to finance the new skid steer. So this is actually for a new skid steer or a new heavy duty trailer to put the skid steer on, and actually a new grapple that goes on the front. So this is actually get 3 different pieces of equipment in that release. This is just the financial part of it. We have not completely circulated all the quotes and everything. I've met several times with Mr. Gifford, so he is in the loop on everything. So this is just the financing part.
If you could describe your current equipment.
Right now, we don't have a heavy duty trailer to take the skid steer to parts of the rural district that we may need it, so we have to drive it there. So if we have to take it to the far corners, it takes a while for us to get it there. The skid steer that we currently have, I'm not sure that maybe Mr. Gifford knows how old that is, but it's
Pushing 20 years old, probably.
it's almost at the end of its life cycle. We think we can keep it for hauling salt and stuff like that. But it's not closed cab, so it's not really conducive to foul weather. When it's really, really cold like it was, during the snowstorm. So this is just upgrading it. We've talked a couple different times about, this is just the next step in some equipment that we need. We did add on, or I asked to add on a grapple that goes on the front of the skid steer so that we can get this brush if there's a storm that comes through. It's kind of like a fingered grapple, makes it easier to get the debris into the back of the trucks to haul off. So that's what this is about.
If it's approved, this will be an amendment to your existing health agreement with Crossroads. 0.97, I haven't seen any of the documents yet, but 3.97%. And there'll be an addendum to your existing documents with them. We'll have to issue an opinion with tax exempt. Something, some of those things that we did last time too.
So no quotes have been done yet.
No, we have all the quotes.
Oh, they have.
We didn't put them with this. Jim wanted to handle the financing part of it before council made any decisions, but, this reflects what my recommendation will be for the council, so.
And the skid steer is brand new.
Yep. It's sitting on the lot as we speak, so we don't have to order Kubota.
So I
So,
believe in our conversations, one of your reasons for this recommendation is the attachments are not proprietary.
Correct, so Mr. Gifford and I have discussed, so we received quotes from Bobcat, Kubota, Cat, and Deere. So they range from, I don't have the exact numbers with me. So Bobcat was on the low end around 87 area, is that roughly?
yeah,
The Kubota was the next one up at 88.8. The other two were over $100,000 a piece. So the big difference for us in the operational world is my understanding that Bobcat has a proprietary 7-pin system, and we have to buy a $1,300 adapter to make that work with attachments that we can go and get to do work in the streets with. My personal opinion is an adapter is just one more thing to break. Kubota, on the other hand, which is the next one up, does not have the 7-pin proprietary connection. It is a 12 or 14 pin, whatever the standard,
13.
whatever the standard pin is, so we can get rid of that adapter. So, and it's a little bit bigger machine, a little bit bigger gallons per minute. So apples to apples, there's a little bit of difference, but I think Kubota's a better machine for another $1,000 or so.
Does any of your equipment now fit on it?
Yes, so we do have a brush that we had to do some engineering with to get to fit the old skid steer because it didn't have enough gallons per minute output. So we do have that. My understanding is that that'll work on that. We are also involved in this is that grapple, so we're going to purchase that. So we are going to try the first year to rent a front attached mower so that we can take over mowing the side ditches this year. Which is another reason why we want to have a closed cab, keep the dirt and must and everything off of the guys that they're trying to do that. So we'll rent that piece of equipment, because if we only use it 3 times a year, we'll see how that shakes out if we ever need to buy it. But we need to make sure that the Kubota, as my understanding, will fit just about all of that standard equipment.
So that'll save us money on the mowing then.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
roughly
Contract.
$25,000-$30,000.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't remember what we paid.
it was about that, yeah.
So we're gonna take that over, which is one of the reasons why we need the new skid steer, so.
One more question. I promise it's not picking on Scott night.
No,
So can you give the reasoning for a brand new versus buying something 5 years old or?
just the warranty and the maintenance packages that come with them, don't, again, I didn't bring my paperwork, so. I know. there's-
Warranty's the big thing.
Well, I don't think you
There's-
can use the health lease on used equipment.
Correct. I don't.
No.
Okay. Yeah, okay, can't use the health lease on new equipment.
A 5-year-old machine, very similar to this, is about $70,000. So we would be silly not to spend an additional 18,000 to have warranty. 3 or 5 years, I forget what it was. But with all the emissions and the after treatment, all that stuff that are on these machines anymore, warranty is a big thing.
Those are all the things I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I was just making sure we weren't jumping to new just because we.
We're
Very valid question.
keeping the old.
Yeah, I would like to keep the old,
So
just to do the salt, because it's eating.
Keep
up
the salt out of it, yeah.
Rust, since I'm not using it to its fullest extent, so. And honestly, Mr. Gifford could probably weigh in again. I don't think they're gonna get much out of that.
It's 20 years old, it's not worth it.
No.
So since we don't have the bids in front of us, is there action to take tonight?
Well, what I'd suggest
Approve the
is
lease.
to preliminarily approve the financing and authorize you if the purchase to execute the financing documents, and then I've not seen any documents yet for this, and I was gonna just leaned over to Zach and said, sometimes you don't ask about the process on acquiring something, but I asked him. So there were quotes,
For, yes,
4 quotes.
for the skid steer.
Okay, and then, so again, not, if you're not picking the lowest responsive and responsible quote. If it's over $50,000, under 50, you can do what you want. Over 50, then you have to declare it a special purchase, which or reject the lower bid. So it sounds to me like there's reasons, savings reasons, and special equipment reasons as to why this could qualify as a special purchase under the purchasing statute. So I'm going to put Mr. Nicely on getting with Mr. Kirby and figuring out exactly what those bases are. We'll have a resolution for you to approve the special purchase at the next meeting. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So on the Crossroads document, the 101,495, is that everything out the door, or is that just skid steer?
That is skid steer plus the trailer plus the,
Okay. So 101,500 is what we need to approve.
well, the financing for it.
There's $350 documentation fee in addition to that, I know, and I don't know what else.
So can we do like a not to
Not to
exceed
exceed.
105,000?
Okay, so what I was thinking you should do tonight, I think Jim Higgins wants to hear you say yes on the financing package. Before he goes and solicits all the documents for that.
Okay.
And then you're gonna consider at your next meeting the purchase by resolution. Does that make sense?
Sure.
The financing need to be by resolution, or can that be by town council president?
Might as well do by resolution next meeting.
Okay, probably should be by resolution. I didn't receive any of the I asked for, but didn't receive any of the documents, and it may be because it's too preliminary. I'm just guessing now that was the program. That Mr. Higgins wanted to hear the council say, yeah, this looks like the right route to go. And then we get everything.
So we really don't need to take action then. We're just,
I don't think so.
from the email chain, and please correct me, I think Mr. Brosnan is correct. I think Mr. Higgins to proceed further needs some type of direction.
Maybe sense of the council, Mr. President, just as to whether they want to proceed with this financing.
I think we want to proceed with financing.
Yes.
We don't want to waste time if it's not gonna go through, yeah. Sure, that makes sense.
I'll reach out to Mr. Higgins.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ordinance 2026-03, design standards and specification. Which falls down into construction standards.
Thank you. Before you this evening for introduction. Before you this evening for introduction is an ordinance for the adoption of the Town of Sheridan construction standards. Over the last several months, Director Scott Kirby, Brian Paddock, and myself have been working with representatives from Banning Engineering to establish a set of construction standards for Sheridan roads, trails, stormwater, and erosion control. We started with a base set of standards from Banning with modifications based on their experiences in other communities. Mr. Kirby, Mr. Paddock, and I then contributed to the standards based on our collective experience. In January, staff met with several members of the council to review these in detail and have worked with our comprehensive and thoroughfare plan consultant, HWC, to ensure consistency between those plans and the standards that are before you. The purpose of this ordinance is to set construction standards that are specific to Sheridan and clearly outline our infrastructure development expectations to the development community. Briefly, these standards establish that new and relocated utilities will be placed underground. Right-of-ways are again consistent with the thoroughfare plan. It establishes curb, gutter, ramp standards, as well as standards for sidewalk construction, paths, and trails. It establishes details for regulatory signage and trail signs. Standards are also included for non-residential and residential driveway approaches. For storm, it requires as-built, requires concrete pipe and road rights of way, and allows for high-pressure performance polypropylene in easements. It also establishes standards for storm sewer structures, including the manhole structure itself, as well as the manhole grates on top and other outlet standards. And then lastly, there are erosion control standards included. This is necessary for MS4, our municipal separated storm sewer system program that we are working towards this year. So at this time, I am happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions?
I'd like to thank Brian and Jennifer for their work on this. They were extremely responsive to questions that I had to process. And very appreciative of their dedication to make sure that we have a consolidated set of standards moving forward. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
There's no questions. Entertain a motion.
I believe this is the first reading.
It is, yeah, you don't, it's just being introduced, unless you want to waive rules, adopt it all in one night. Or if
I will add just this great new chapter, the code of ordinances adopts the manual and specifies that the manual will be on file in the clerk director's office and Jennifer's office.
You're trying to beat project here.
No, we are not.
All right, let's just wait till next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Received an email from Kim Riley with the library. Prior to the reorganization, the Sheridan Public Library Board of Trustees had an appointment by the township trustee. The appointment now falls to the president of town council. Is that accurate, or is it the entire council?
it's probably the executive.
Okay. Floyd Barker was currently the appointee and is now due for reappointment. The Sheridan Public Library Board of Trustees would like us to consider reappointing Mr. Barker. You have confirmed with Mr. Barker he would like to serve. So I would like to appoint Floyd Barker to the library Board of Trustees.
Floyd's been on for many years. He does a great job at the library.
So Floyd's the guy. I just wasn't for sure if it was executive or council.
Wasn't consulted previously, but my recollection is it's the executive, and if it's the township that sent the executive there. It's
Should be the same.
makes sense.
So you need something signed,
Yes.
those letters you attached. You'll bring that up at the end, I'll sign those. Any other new business?
When does the library project start?
I will know that for sure next week. We just hired a contractor today.
Getting close to it.
Very close.
Any reports?
Essentially 2 things. Legal, we're expecting a response from Calumet. And so we may have something discussed with the council. As executive session, posted on that. The other item is when it gets to you, the Howard repaving contract, it's good. I had a fast panic, but it's one I just saw, just the contract and not the general conditions and everything else. Mr. Kirby got all that, it's a very good order, so that's put in front of you for signature. It's approved at the last meeting. Let's put in front of you for signature. It's good to go.
Okay. Finance? Anything from clerk's office? You did your attorney report. Is that
Sorry, I didn't know.
No,
You were
those reports, attorney report. I'm just going down the list here. Any general discussion items from council?
One question, it was almost a year ago this time, we had problems with Republic, our waste management services. They had some turnover, Putting it like that. I haven't heard any complaints really from residents or staff or council, but just wanted to check and make sure if there's anything that we need to reach out on, or is it been as quiet as I think it has?
I think it's been fairly quiet. You might reach out just to touch base with them since I think you were the one last time.
Yeah, Kevin,
You know,
Boyce
attaboy.
reaches every once in a while, just asking. So yeah, I'll pass that along.
Council, correctly, Republic contract ends the end of this year. Correct. So we need to be rebid. That's my experience with those sorts of activities and like laborious. We've had several contacts from Waste Management interested in bidding. So it's probably something we need to lean into
Sooner than later.
probably no later than May.
There's a process. We'll start putting them on that line.
Levi, are you up for that? You wanna work with legal on?
Yeah, I'm extremely ignorant, so I've got some learning to do. But yes, be happy to.
Your nice sleep well, it's my kitchen.
Excellent.
Anything else?
Yeah, I was just gonna dovetail onto that.
Okay. Public comment. Yes, come on up, Julia.
You're right.
I don't know. Well, he goes last anyway, so.
Just a question. What is the town's ordinance as far as, you know what I'm gonna say,
Uh-huh.
as far as toxic fumes, smells, odors and whatnot? If you don't live in this general area, which I don't think any of you do, well, I don't know where you live. But if you live in this area, usually after 6 o'clock, it gets pretty smoky, and maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, maybe once a month, it gets really, really bad. Last week, it was 4 nights of nothing but straight fog, smog, and then at one point in time, one of the days, I think it was Friday, it was like I stepped out my back door and it was like a 12-6. So this has been going on a while. I've talked to other residents and it's just in this general area. So I just reached out, of course, on social media just to find out if anybody knew exactly where it was coming from. And everybody pointed to a business on Barnett. My question is, have there been other people that have come to the town? Are there any complaints? Am I the first complaint? I can't believe I'm the first complaint. I can't believe the people that are living right next to the business haven't complained. And exactly what are our I don't want to say rights, but
Recourse remedies.
yes,
So actually it's Saturday.
no, it was Thursday, Friday. and
Well,
Saturday.
I drove through Saturday.
Okay,
Um,
I walk every day.
I drove through Saturday, and it was a dense fog.
You are not the first to complain about this. I'll let Mr. Stern come up because you did an inspection along with the EPA.
Over the years, I've had IDEM here. I've
Or
got
IDEM.
a couple of official reports from IDEM. They found no wrong doing at the site. Of course, whenever they come, it's not bad, right? And I cannot get a mason jar out and capture it.
Right.
I would love to do that. I would love for it to go away. I have exhausted all resources of it to go away. It is a nuisance. I don't know if something can be done under a nuisance or a nuisance ordinance. I've had the fire marshal involved. It's zoned industrial, so they are allowed certain things.
But aren't you supposed to have like, if you're putting something into, sorry, I say burner, and some type of, you're burning something, shouldn't you have some type of filter? If you're burning something that you shouldn't be, if it's not an open burn and the fire department can't do anything about it.
It's a contained burn,
Yes.
and it's actually got a structure built.
It's a furnace
Okay,
and that's what they're heating with.
It's got a structure built around it, so I can't even go in there and open, I can't bust down the door and go in there and open it and see what's they're actually burning.
Right. And the other thing is it typically it happens in the evening. So when I go out for my evening walk, I step out my back door and I go back in. And last week it was so bad, it permeated my entire house. And my house is not small and my house is 3 blocks away.
I know in the past, Mr. President, I believe you reached out to them. It's gotten better.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a plan together, and reach out back to him. Again,
I've had conversations in the last 48 hours with them.
I just noticed, we get some nice warm days and everybody wants to go outside, and then I think we've got a park right here.
Yeah.
I mean, besides all of the residents, we have a park right here. So I'm concerned and, I'm a walker, so I'm personally concerned. But I mean, I'm glad to know that.
I'm happy to contact them all again and get them all involved again. Have a sidebar about it. See how you want to proceed. I would love for it to go away. That's been amazing.
Right, yeah, I think it's been a while. I've just noticed it more recently for whatever reason. So.
I mean, shoot, Travis, when I was on the department, we went down there 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe even before you were the chief, we dealt with that back since probably 2015.
So
The ironic thing, when I drove through Saturday, within 2 blocks, you couldn't see it, but the closer you got to your house. I thought, Adams Elementary was on fire. It pushed that far northeast.
that some of the people on 6th here thought their property was on fire. That's how bad it was. So.
But next to the commercial building, wasn't bad. That's where it's coming from, but it wasn't. The neighbors, it was clear.
And I honestly don't think I've ever noted really fog or smog or whatever you want to call it. It just happened to be that, I don't know if it was the weather, but like in the summer months, you don't get that, but you do get.
Well, they don't burn it in the summer. They're not burning waste, they're heating.
I would disagree with that. I think you need to, I think more people need to come forward because other people that live this direction, they'll be at their pool and they can't even be in there by the pool because of the snow. So it's not just winter and it's not just heat. I mean, and why would you be heating when it's 55 degrees? But maybe not. Maybe you still heat when it's 55 degrees.
Mr.
Those are
Boswell,
just my
look into it from a legal standpoint.
We're gonna look into, the closest I've got right now is nuisance, public nuisance.
Right.
So we'll look to see what we come up with.
Right. And is if there's like nothing the town can do, then do we let it lie or do we personally do anything or?
I can't advise you to personally do anything,
Okay.
but I'm sure.
To the town code, there is a provision for causing or permitting the emission or dissemination of dense toxic, foul smelling, irritating, or annoying smoke, fumes, dust, ash, products, or unstains. And it is
That was is that all property or is that residential?
It's
Cause
It's commercial.
it is zone industrial.
right off the top, I don't see anything differentiated between
Any of them?
business or residential, but
Okay.
I think that's what we're getting.
Who then would be enforced with the
That's just us.
Jennifer's office?
Probably.
To site with in conjunction, well, I see 3 people, fire, police, and planning for civil code.
She'll come up with a plan.
that actually.
Well, that's Jennifer as well.
It's not at the, copy, so, like, but we should definitely need to talk about this further.
We'll do.
All right, thank you.
Any other public comments? Seeing none, actions to pay accounts payable. Vouchers.
I'll make the motion, we pay accounts payable vouchers.
I have a motion and a second as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes. Next town council meeting is March 3rd. Other boards and commissions, park board meets Wednesday, February 25th. Is there APC this week?
Yeah. The comprehensive and thoroughfare plans will be introduced.
And that is it. Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
The motion is second as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?